Intro 60 seconds.
Yeah, willing to die for what I'm living for. And if you didn't get it, go and live some more. I'ma run it up. Gotta get some more, we ain't done enough. Can't fake or imitate. Short grass so no snakes get in the way. John Madden called me, I got the play. In the maze, you gotta find a way. Or make one, living for the future, not yesterday. Wanna be great, do what it takes. Willing to rise for the right reasons. And you can't kick us out cause we not leaving. Bring all my flowers while I'm still breathing. Made a promise every day gon' be my season. Wanna sleep on greatness, better keep dreaming. Hall of Fame need the name, this for one reason. I'm a legend. I'm a legend.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ward Radio live stream. I am your host, Cardin Ellis. Today we are joined in the studio by a killer cast. The gang's all here. We got Brad Whitbeck as well as Jonah Barnes, the associate professor of all things apocryphal, and Kwaku L, who could look a little bit more enthusiastic over a very exciting topic that we are about to explore. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Yeah, you're going to react to something totally insane and absolutely awesome that, dare I say, you have never seen before. Why? Because we are joined today by none other than Thomas Lundberg, who is, actually, I'm queuing him up right now, who is the head of this website, all right, Gathering Israel, somebody we're collaborating with for the Ward Radio digital mission. It's popping off. We've got receipts. It's wild. Who's going to start us out? Jonah, are you going to start us out? Tell us what's going on, my man.
Well, I can just give a little bit of the background before we throw to Thomas here.
Okay.
So people who watch this channel are aware of the digital mission. So we found out that U.S. dollars can go a long way towards finding people and getting referrals, okay? And that's kind of been going around a little bit here. Well, Gathering Israel is the quantum leap in digital missionary work. And taking the idea of a digital mission to the moon. And what you're going to hear tonight is you're going to hear about a lot of successes. But the point isn't the successes that we've got so far. The point is the system. It's a perpetual system that's been created to do this kind of forever. It's absolutely amazing. I think it is one of the greatest things I've ever touched, I've ever been involved with in my life. I think it's so cool. So Thomas is going to tell us about it. He's kind of the mastermind behind formalizing this thing.
So when you say digital mission, you're talking about converting AI bots.
Yes.
Okay.
We were very, very
Baptizing.
worried about artificial intelligence salvation.
Yeah.
Right.
And you found a way to baptize them without frying their circuit?
We convinced ChatGPT to accept some commitments, and it kept them, and so we're moving forward.
And without burying the lead here, I'm going to say that, gosh, guys, we're going to be talking about all kinds of crazy cool receipts. I got a couple of pictures here on the Discord that we're going to be talking about. These guys have been taking this to the absolute next level. We got some stats of some wild and amazing successes that we have had with this collaboration between the digital mission and Gathering Israel. This is rubber meets the road, actual spirituality, super cool stuff here. So
very nice.
Yeah, and can I say the one stat? I'll ask you later. I don't want to. I'll ask you when somebody else is talking. I'll whisper in your ear.
Okay.
So anyway, so Jonah, introduce Thomas. Say what's going on. Let's jump right in.
Thomas Lundberg and I were actually conjoined twins at birth. Separated, we went.
You can see the resemblance
together. Yeah,
yes,
it's very strong.
Then, through a series of unfortunate events, we were separated, and amnesiacs, and then brought back together through Ward Radio here for the digital mission.
Yes.
So that's kind of the background there. No. Thomas is just he's a hacker. He's a part of Anonymous, but then he found the gospel, converted, and now he's fighting on our side.
Yeah,
from
baby.
Anonymous Hackers. Thomas, I don't know how much you want me to tell them about
yourself.
yourself.
No, that's great.
You
That's
can
great.
introduce yourself.
Yeah, no, this is great. I can kind of give you an intro and everything. So Just simply put, so we actually we've been working on this for a while. I mean, Jonah, you've been working on this for probably decades at this point.
Hey, whoa. Let's be easy there on the decades thing, all right? I mean, I'm the old guy.
Okay,
I'm not that
one or
old.
2 decades. All right. Is that better? No, yeah. So, what's really cool, Jonah and Cardin, is that we never at any point in the history of the world has this been possible, and in the last 5 or 6 months, this is going absolutely viral. So, really what we do in a nutshell is we set up appointments for missionaries. We run ads and we set up appointments for missionaries. That's just like simple. That's what we do, right? And we've created a process, and I'm using, I own a software company, so I have some developers that are working on this, but a system to kind of automate a lot of the submissions and everything. And so yeah, we're just seeing a ton of success. Maybe we can pull up some charts and everything, and be happy to dive into some and this is changing people's lives too. I mean, we just had 2 baptisms on Saturday and another baptism the week before.
Your pitch sucks. Your pitch sucks. Look, you can buy for pennies on the dollar in the third world Facebook ads that capitalism is forgotten in places they don't give a crap about. We figured out that when you buy them and you give out free books of Mormon, people actually say yes to this. They get baptized and it improves their lives. Then Tech Bro steps in and says, hey, I could actually take this to the next level because I'm a big brain tech bro. And so he took it to the next level. This is their freaking website. It's blowing up. And where else do you get pictures of tons of people like this getting baptized all at once? He's Donkey Kong stomping the church's efforts single-handedly. There's a millennial out there that is getting more referrals in 10 minutes than the rest of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has in 10 years in half of these missions. And he's here to talk to us all about it. Is that better?
Amen. I love it. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And, in the short span of, I don't know, like the last month, I mean, we're generating, I don't know what the percentage is, but, kind of our sources tell us that we're right around 1% to 2% of the total volume of these leads for the church. And that's just on trajectory. If you look at the graph, it's like a hockey puck. So maybe we should pull up some of these graphs, Cardin.
Well, and that's, by the way, so that geography, so the Gathering Israel accounting for 1% to 2% of the entire global church's referrals is done so in a fraction of the geography.
And the cost too.
And a fraction of the cost. So if for those of you who aren't up on the model, you can use USD to bid on ad space in the third world as an auction and take ads out that way. Yes.
Okay, so I see this is never been done before. This is kind of miraculous. So I just want to address elephant in the room before we go forward, and that is that Jonah is dressed like a little league coach axe murderer.
Yes.
What are you wearing?
This is merch for this is Book of Mormon merch.
What is that? That is true.
Got,
what is that?
What?
Oh, it says sorry, not sorry, Laban.
Yeah, it's
and there's
available
like
in the merch store.
Why is there such a horrifying blood stain?
A blood-stained shirt with a green undershirt, a blue and orange hat with a fire. Is that a Luke? Is that a Luke candle?
Sorry, this is Saint Luke. He's the patron saint of sunglasses and Bible
Is that a
bashing.
flaming Luke candle?
Yes, it is. It's Saint Luke. He couldn't be here, so he just had a baby.
He's here in spirit.
So we just wanted to light a candle to him. But yeah, this is the merch.
Please
store.
don't run Jonah's outfit as a Facebook ad if you want to get people.
Okay, so back to Thomas, bro. Tell us how you got started. Tell us what your major successes are. Now you can dump all of the data and the boring stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, when I first kind of got involved with this, I don't know, 6-7 months ago, we were running ads and it was costing us, maybe you can pull up one of those graphs.
Sure, got it.
One of them has got, there's several, but we started, it was costing us around $200 per lead, so per appointment. So basically we'd be setting appointments, right? And it cost us, we do all these ads, right? And then it cost us around $200 to, book an appointment. And we've cracked the code, Cardin. I mean, our goal was to get under $20. We just hit that a few months ago, and now our average cost is less than $1. It is crazy.
Which is nuts, guys. I've done this for 13 years or so. I mean, I could get some clicks for $10, $20, $30, but these are referrals. These are people who have given their contact information, their names, their addresses, how they want to be contacted, even made appointments like I'm going to talk to the missionaries, or I'm interested in this. I mean, these are golden referrals he's getting for less than $1. It's
Dude,
crazy.
that is really
Yeah, we're screening
amazing.
them too. We screen them out just to make sure that
Really?
we get high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, and just so you know, I have on good authority from people at the church office building that in North America they average 43 grand per convert just on Facebook ads. Like what? That's not wasteful. That's a dereliction of duty if you're spending that much money. Like at what point do you just offer UBI? You know what I'm saying? But like seriously. This is incredible. Okay, so keep going, Thomas. Keep hitting.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, like, we started out doing, when we first, we're starting to book appointments. We're like, 2 appointments a week. We're like, yeah, this is so cool, and then, it was like 5, and then we got to 10, and then we're like, one time we broke 100, and we're like, wow, this is incredible.
whoa, this is amazing.
In a week, we did 100 appointments. Wow, this is just gonna change the world. And a couple weeks ago, we just hit 2,700 appointments in 1 week.
In 1 week.
Wow.
2,700.
For less than $2,000.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, now on my mission, I think my whole mission got 2 referrals. 2. These papers came through and we're like, what are these? Like, what are these things? We didn't even know what to do with them. We never got them. A referral of somebody who wants you to come teach them is gold on your mission. It's gold, right?
Yeah.
And these are 2,700 in a single week for less than it costs to get 1 visa for 1 mission.
Dude, talk about the hastening of the work.
Yeah. Exponential.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So
now- no-
I know that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jonah.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Keep going.
I know that for Cardin here, all the boomers that are listening to this are thinking, well, isn't the church doing this already? Like, why are you guys kind of I don't know, stealing from the church or whatever you might call it? So we've actually been meeting with the church. So they have a missionary finding department, and I just had several phone calls with the leader there, and he's in charge of all of it. And long story short, we can do things that the church can't, because if they were to support us, we have to follow certain regulations and certain guidelines, et cetera, and certain red tape, which we're actually trying to work through to be able to,
Yeah, but like what? Like anybody's allowed to buy a Facebook ad for anything they want. And we're offering free copies of the Book of Mormon. Like it's not like we're like downloading social security numbers of like old people in in retirement villas.
No, yeah, absolutely. And they're all the conversations we've had, they're very supportive. They're like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. We can't publicly say that we're supporting you, at least not at this point, unless they get
But
their
you just
ducks in
did
a
for
row.
them, so good job.
Yeah. Well, I will say that, one thing that helps us is being a nonprofit. So we just got our nonprofit status, I want to say 1 or 2 weeks ago. And, I pay for all the operations. We have a team of people. We have about 12 people all together that are like full time in this. And they're all across the world, Africa, Philippines, South America, a lot of people that are involved with this. Most of them are members of the church. And, what else was I going to say about that? So I pay for all the operations, and every dime that we receive for donations go directly towards ad spend, which is pretty awesome to see the impact, So, anyways.
So it is an exponential increase. So what I describe it as, it's a finding technology. It doesn't replace missionaries. It doesn't compete with the church.
It assists missionaries. Yeah.
It finds here's how I describe it. When you run a business, okay, and you have a CFO or chief legal counsel at some big company, you don't want that guy sweeping the floors.
Yeah.
You want that guy doing legal stuff.
Yep, doing the part he's good at.
We have missionaries sitting on buses or riding bicycles or walking for miles and miles, knocking on doors only to find out that people aren't there. Now they're trying to follow the Spirit, and they should be, and the Spirit can work miracles with anything, and that's totally true. But we are trying to keep missionaries doing what they do best, which is sitting down, testifying, teaching, and delivering the gospel of Jesus Christ to the hearts of the sheep out there who have heard the shepherd's voice.
Dude, this would have been amazing to have as a missionary.
Oh, amazing.
Like in New York, it was fascinating. I sent in a lot of referrals in New York because we would teach people all the time that did not live in our area because we covered the east side of Manhattan. And so we would teach someone who lives in the Bronx, lives in Queens, and oh crap, now we have to try to refer these people. The referral system was not in a good place while I was on my mission. I'm like trying to put things together so that this doesn't get lost. And it was not a smooth process. And so hearing that you guys are doing something like this is incredible. This is so awesome.
Well, funny that you should say that about the Bronx. Thomas, do you want to tell them about the Bronx?
I don't know what you're referring to. Oh,
So-
no, yeah. We have somebody on date to be baptized there.
Really?
We got our first baptism.
Yeah, we were running ads in
Dude!
California.
Oh,
we were
that's
running
so-
yeah, we were running ads in California, and I don't know how we made the connection, but anyways, somebody from New York, clicked on one of our ads,
Yeah.
etc. Started meeting with the missionaries, and is on date to be baptized here on June 1st. I mean, you never know. Sometimes those things get pushed out, but
Yeah.
that's the baptismal date as of right now.
But our job was to find them and connect them with the missionaries, which we did. And then it's up, of course, to the person to make the commitments and things like that. But there's billions of people in the world who have never had a chance, and they won't if we're spending all our time walking and riding on buses and trying to get to them 2 by 2, person by person. It's just so much less efficient. So this is finding technology to shorten that and to keep our missionaries doing what they're best at, to hasten the work, not linearly but exponentially.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of flexibility to go, really wherever we want. We can, if we want to go to a certain area, we can do that. And I know this the church has got their hands tied a little bit with what they can and can't do and everything. So I think we just get a little bit more leniency. We get a little bit more of the wild west feel, and
Vigilante evangelism.
No. They don't have their hands tied. They're a bunch of pansies who don't have the stones or the spine to do what needs to get done. We're the freaking heritage of apostles that died getting crucified upside down, speared through the heart, and all kinds of crazy crap like that the book of Acts is filled with. And then these people are like, well, I don't know. Does our insurance cover it? Good thing the church was restored in 1830 and not in freaking 2025 because the bureaucrats in the mission department wouldn't have made it past freaking the Mississippi River if Nauvoo were built in 2020.
Carden, they're working with these guys. They're working to make this work.
Yeah, I will say, they've been actually really good to work with. Like,
because you're doing their job for them. Lazy bureaucrats love it. Love it when the private sector comes in and says, hey, can I do your job and you get credit for it, bro? Yeah, of course they love it.
Carden, did we not just have Matt Ball on yesterday? Like, what are you doing, man?
He's running circles around him. I am leaning into the meme at this point, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
I will say we have a very big vision here. I mean, the goal is to be doing not thousands per week, but if we can, hundreds of thousands. And just knowing the volume that is already going through the church, I think it would be incredible if we could actually surpass that. I mean, think about it. I mean, Jonah, you were talking about this the other day, but if we have 109,000 missionaries, I think, as the count, and there's 8 billion people on the earth with a B, right? Yeah, 109 million, 8 billion. I mean, that's a big gap, right? So if every one of these missionaries was, being a really responsible missionary and talking to as many people as possible, people would be born, live their whole lives, and die, and not even know anything about the church, about Jesus Christ, etc. But now, like I said at the beginning here, is like we have a unique opportunity that this has never, ever, ever been possible in the history of the world.
Yeah.
The history of the world to ever preach the gospel like this.
Yeah.
You can spend money right now. You can spend money, and it converts to set appointments with missionaries, and people get connected to missionaries. That is just incredible.
That's awesome. Now, I've got a question for you guys. How are you lowering the cost of this? Is this a testing of different types of ads? Is it a testing different kinds of targeting? Is it a mix of those things?
You're asking for the secret sauce.
It's a secret sauce.
Yeah, of
Secret
course
sauce.
I am. You are here. What do you want me to do?
I'll just tell you. I don't know how much I can share, Jonah. I don't know. But I'll just tell you that we have several methods that work really, really well. I will say one thing that helps us too is we're going viral. We have over 100,000 followers on Facebook right now. And guys, we're just using Facebook. We haven't even talked about like using different social media platforms. Like we're just on one platform.
Yeah.
And what's nice is like, we can start using other social media platforms. There's nothing stopping us, right? Once we have a really good system in place, and a lot of our automations are going to help with that we're building with our team and everything.
Yeah.
So, we're gearing this up to scale. Like we're really getting to a point where we can take this to the moon.
Yeah. See the beauty of this. Look, we've known that you can translate the price of a Chapo Frappuccini Wana cafe thingy. I don't know. The price of a coffee. I don't know what they're called.
Nobody buys coffee.
Actually,
I take
everybody
that
else
back.
is
I take
like,
that back. There are a few antis that are probably sipping their coffee right now.
But you can translate the cost of one of those into a click. We've kind of known that, but what Gathering Israel does is it instead of a click, it's a referral. It's gold, and it does it for exponentially less, for far less money, and it's a system that can be scaled. Previously, when I was doing this or other digital missionaries were doing this, you did it on your own dime with your own Facebook account, and you could run some
and
campaigns
no visibility.
And you had no visibility. And what Gathering Israel does is it has visibility front to start to finish, so from somebody clicking to them being baptized, and it can be scaled, to the moon. Like, we don't even know how big it can get. Right now, it's this machine that's been built that just says, add more gasoline. Let's go. And so we don't know how big it can get before it starts to burst. One of the secret sauce things, Brad, to your question, that you're really we can tell them. One of the things is that the team that we're using, for instance, for African campaigns, well, they're Africans. They're Africans who understand where they're running the place, and they live kind of all around the continent of Africa. By the way, for the antis, Africa's a continent. It's an, you can Google it. You can Google it, and you can find out where that is. But
that's where hip hop music comes from.
No, hip hop is ours. That is American, baby. Specifically, South Central Los Angeles.
Take that.
Now you're going to start a fight between the New Yorkers.
Cultural
and
imperialism.
No one. Hey, look, I got to tell you, the junior varsity team can be almost as good as the varsity team, but can't replace the original.
Isn't that what Catholics say about us?
Yeah, probably.
Speaking of which, everyone should like and subscribe.
That's true.
Yes. By the way, like, share, and subscribe. Also, we got some super chats that we're going to be reading. Brad is the keeper of the chats this episode. And if you guys have any questions about the digital mission or Gathering Israel, we got Thomas here for another 27 minutes or so. So send them to us as long as they are appropriate and germane to the conversation. We'll do our best to read them on air. Now, Thomas, where are we going and where are we doing this? Are there any places that are more receptive than others statistically, like by population or per capita, that you notice? And also, what are all these pictures that you loaded into the Discord? Tell us what all these pictures are, okay?
Are we going to do super chats, or are we going to...
you know what? Yeah, let's do super chats right now. Bust out some super chats right now.
Okay, so first off, let us say thank you to ACTXMS.
Okay.
Because he gave a super chat and then didn't say anything.
Didn't say anything. Our favorite kind.
We're just saying thank you. But also, we need to put a big Ward Radio welcome to ACTXMS also, and then King Asa and Tanner Hodges. Welcome to the Ward Radio Warship.
Ooh, they joined.
Everyone, please put a big old W in the chat.
W's. More W's.
That first name sounded like a really expensive microphone.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. That's
Right?
It's true.
That's good.
That's actually really, that is so true, bro. That's funny.
Then
Okay.
next up, we got Falter Media, and he is excited, guys.
Okay.
He sent this in 3 separate chats. He says, "The standard of truth has been erected, baby. Persecutions may rage, mobs may combine, armies may assemble, calumny may defame, people may hate watch or rage comment or slander, but the truth of God will go forth boldly, nobly, and independent till it has penetrated every continent.
By the
Sounded
way-
in every ear. I'm hyped.
By the way, notice
Amen.
that boldly, nobly, and what?
Independent."
Oh, that's great for this stream. That's
Interesting.
perfect. That's perfect.
Oh, interesting.
This is vigilante evangelism.
Dude, you got to subversively build the kingdom.
Subversively building the kingdom.
You know, what's it like to be a rebel and somebody who's part of the problem? Thomas, what's that like?
Yeah, Thomas.
You know, I've been I'm a business owner, so I've had a lot of people say many crazy, maybe hurtful, harmful things, whatever. So we roll with the punches. You know, I love being a rebel. It's great.
Okay,
Nice.
cool. So what are all these pictures? Oh, actually, no.
Oh, also, we've got Trina Hansen to welcome
Oh, geez. I'm
Welcome,
sorry.
with
Keep
a
going.
W in the chat.
Yeah.
Trina, welcome. I think this is Trina's first live stream. Welcome, Trina. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, and then Kurilam theory. I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced.
It's
The guide
Surium.
says Kurilam,
It's Surium.
but I've heard that the guide is just kind of made up. Now, we've got... No, it made me sad to find that out.
These are for the same people that named a town Hurricane.
But they were just doing their best guesses on some of them, you know?
Well, it does make me question when you listen to the Bible or the Book of Mormon on the voiceover in the app, it does say, "Thou dost err." And it's not,
I definitely
don't
pronounced
err?
that air in my head.
yeah, okay. Well, anyway, keep going.
Okay, then we got Kurilam theory. He says, "First Ward Radio live meetup in the works. Please go to the Ward Radio Discord to voice where you'd like it to happen." Now, we're going to need a channel to meet in, so if anyone mentions that, we'll try to get that
I'll
set
see if there's
here.
one created. I'll go look.
Cool. And then Mary Lou Howarth says, "No making me feel guilty tonight, Carden."
Mary, you're wonderful.
Thank
Well,
you, Mary.
Awesome. You could never be guilty. You've been amazing.
Mary, you are the closest to getting ordained to the priesthood. You're like right there.
Yeah.
That's how good.
In the Ward Radio wigwam,
Yeah.
anything goes.
Anything goes.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no!
So
Oh
that's good.
no!
Wait, Thomas is gone. Where'd he go? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hey Thomas, I got a question.
Yeah.
Is it hard like doing this and then always getting recognized from being on every dentist ad ever?
Yeah.
It's perfect teeth.
Dude, you look like the dude in every single dental ad I've ever seen.
Oh, that's true. And
I
he's
think
still
that's
got
a
the
compliment. Thank
he's
you.
still got like the side hair, you know. It's okay, Brad. You can walk behind me, bro, Seth. But yeah, and he's got the perfect little side sweep that all of our mothers wish we could
Wait.
pull off.
Thomas, I got another question. You live in Utah, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am profiling you just based on your
Oh,
aesthetic
no.
and
Wait,
look.
Quago
no.
always does this,
How,
by the way.
how much pickleball have you played in the last year?
Oh, that's great.
No, be honest.
know,
How much?
I want to play more. I've probably played 3 if I were to put it on my list. My sister's got a pickleball court
In your
backyard.
in your closet, do you have a pair of Tivas or Chacos or both?
I do have
No,
chacos.
there it is.
Wow.
Yeah,
There
we
it
have
is.
chacos,
What's a
yeah.
Chaco? What's a Chaco?
It's like at BYU, the guys who like hike, and they're like these foam sandal things you use to hike and do river rafting and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you have more than 3 khaki shorts?
Oh gosh, I'm wearing them right now. Yeah. Full dad mode, baby.
Quago is batting
so
100. He's batting 1,000. Amazing.
Oh, that's funny. Any others? Any others, Quaku?
We
Any
met at
others?
Institute. My wife and I, we met at Institute. I don't know if that checks off your list. So did my brother. So did my parents. I mean, Utah State. We have a 2-year-old. His name's James. I don't know
Oh,
if
no,
that
that's-
checks your other boxes.
No, I
here.
love it. This is all great. I've gotten so good at like
Profiling.
Bro,
Profiling.
well,
Dare we
you
say
can't-
racial?
You can't be
profiling?
good at marketing without also being engaging in profiling. anyone who's doing marketing will tell you that. Like, are you going to really run ads for Swig Moms the same way you're going to run ads for athletes in Georgia?
So you're
No.
saying the TSA
you in
is
marketing?
just really good at marketing.
Well, yeah,
I don't know
Quaker,
if I
you
can
need to
say
give
this.
us some pointers, man. We need your secret sauce, man.
Here's what I'm going to give you this one little. The TSA gets away with profiling. Why? Because there's one group that has basically an unlimited credit to say whatever they want, and that is black women. If you notice, the black women are the last bastion. Kind of say, if there's a guy they want to stop and they want to racially profile, Carden can't do it, Brad can't do it, but Tamika can. And you know what? And the person profiled isn't going to talk back to Tamika. It's just how it is. And TSA goes, who are we going to... I'm just... It is what it is. It is what it is.
Officer Tamika.
It is what it is. And look, to us, I was like, look, I had guys in class just like you. I'm like, I know this guy. I don't know him, but I know this guy.
Yeah, and Tamika, that's actually coming soon to an infant baby in a Provo hospital near you. That sounds like
An infant baby?
Yeah, no, it sounds like a weird
like
Utah
H2O
name.
water, huh?
Yes.
No, like it sounds like a weird Utah baby name. You
Oh
know
no,
what I'm saying?
that's a black girl named Tamika.
No, I know, but then they would find a way to hyphenate it and add an extra vowel and then call their baby that, because of like funky Utah baby names.
I could see it.
So, all right, let's keep going with super chats, and then we'll keep talking with Thomas. Brad, hit us.
Sorry, we just have people who are sad they're not being read into the ward. We'd like to welcome Brother Tanner Hodges, Sister Trina Hansen, and Not Your Average Dan. Welcome to the Ward Radio Wigwam. All those who would like to welcome them, please put W's in the chat. Sorry.
Okay, awesome.
All right, and then we've got another one with Through the Mist. Says, last live was great, but the PR guy was fire.
Yeah.
He was so awesome. Matt Ball was next level.
Yeah, dude, we got to get him back. I wonder if they've heard about this in the church office building. Yeah, what did the church office building say when you said, yeah, we're basically running circles around you, and we just need a key to the back door of the office so you can let our guys come in and do your job? Like what?
Yeah,
what
they
happened?
said something like, "Oh yeah, we know that you guys have been doing this, and we're just trying to find a way to support you or whatever." So they've been apparently we've been on their radar. I mean, how do you not? I mean, we have like one or two users submitting thousands of referrals every week. It's like they probably were looking at it and they're like, "There's something wrong here. Can we go check this out? There's an issue." Actually, I will say this: when we first started. We've actually broke their system a few times.
Yes, I was going to say that.
We broke their
actually
system
overloaded the
once.
system.
Like we overloaded them with referrals, and we couldn't. It just wasn't working. We couldn't log in or whatever. And then we used another account, and then that broke that one. And then we used another account, broke that one, and then we got a better account, and then that one went down for like 72 hours recently. And but we're back up and running. So, we're testing the limits.
And we have people in the chat asking about the website. Is there a way they can visit it?
Yeah, gatheringisrael.org.
Gatheringisrael.org.
It's the thing I've been putting up on the screen.
Okay,
right here.
people have been going to, I think, gatheringisrael.com, which
Oh, no,
is
it's
not the same.
.org.
So gatheringisrael.org.
Yeah, go check it out, and you can read about some of the successes there. Thomas is going to walk us through some of these successes. We have some images in the Discord to show that this is really working, and this is working remotely. Like this is.
Yes.
Anyways, show them.
So you asked the question really quick. I'll just hit this really quick. Let me tell you all the areas that we're in. Carden, you asked kind of where we're going.
Yeah.
California, that was just kind of recent, but we're seeing a ton of success in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, the Gambia, Malawi, the Philippines, Colombia, Botswana, Liberia, I don't even know how to pronounce some of these. Namibia, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Uganda, South Africa. By the way, our operations manager, Mamelo, I have to put in a plug. She runs this whole operation. She lives in South Africa, and she's a freaking beast. She does amazing work. She runs pretty much all of our operations, and she's got it really dialed in. She's the one really to kind of credit for all of our improvements in cost and volume.
And this map that's up here right now shows a contrast. The top map shows where the Church of Jesus Christ is, The bottom map shows where the population of the human race is. And if you look at the red segment, shows that there's a lot of people in this part of the world where the church just isn't yet.
Wow.
There's Africa, the Middle East, India, China. There's a lot of people there. And to send missionaries 2 by 2 to all those places, we would need to be really efficient with every moment and every step and every penny. And I believe this is the quantum leap that the work needs to do it. It's going to take too darn long to go door by door over billions and billions of people. And this can speed it up exponentially. So
yeah, dude, it really makes you wonder, like, deep, important questions like, have you liked and subscribed? And
wow, that's very profound. Very profound.
Sorry. And then here we've got 2 more super chats. Not Your Average Dance has been watching for a while. Love the content. Are there ways to volunteer for the referrals?
Well, and we'll get to that kind of how you can be a part of Gathering Israel kind of at the end. Let's go through some of the successes, Thomas, and we will cover that. Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe as we start in the successes, let's just do a quick. This super chat says a quick recap of the guest and what he's up to. Just ultra brief.
Yeah. Gathering Israel is an organization. It's nonprofit. We set appointments for missionaries through ads. So it's that simple, and it's
very efficiently in
hockey
places.
puck growth over the last, I don't know, 3 to 6 months.
In places that you cannot get. We had previously here on Ward Radio, we had the first 2 baptisms in the history of Guinea-Bissau was done using a similar method as Gathering Israel. You can go places no one has ever been. We got the first 2 baptisms in the history of this country where the church didn't even have a presence because of the ads that we put there. And so this uses that method not only more efficiently and faster, but it's a method that can reach places that you can't ever go, or that you might not otherwise go. So it's a game changer for missionary work. And that's what Thomas is talking about. Sorry, keep going, Thomas.
Yeah. So I'll just talk about one that was Okoro. He was baptized. Maybe you can pull up I don't know if you know which one it is, Cardin, but
I can tell you which one. No, not that one.
Okay, is it this guy that doesn't look happy in the
Nope,
picture?
not him.
Okay, good. Because I gotta say that's not the best PR.
Oh, wait, there he was. Go back one.
This one right
That's
here.
Okoro.
Okay, this is
There he
Okoro.
is.
Rock on, hit it.
So check this out. So Okoro had been kind of introduced to the church by a friend that was actually living in Japan. Okay, so this convert, what's her name? Jenny, I think. Jenny. She lived in Japan. She invited him. Her story is crazy too, by the way. Anyways, I probably don't have time to give you the whole rundown, but she invited him to go to church. Long story short, he didn't know where to go, whatnot. He was scrolling on Facebook, found one of our ads, and we connected with the missionaries, and he just got baptized a couple weeks ago.
And now, was it
2 weeks ago?
Was it
and
him
now
who said, yeah, go on.
Yeah, he's going to institute classes. Some of our it's a long drive for him, so some of our volunteers kind of helped him out to be able to pay for gas to get to these institute classes because he wants to go serve a mission. Yeah. And there's actually another person too that got connected with our ads, and he's also wanting to serve a mission. He looks like, if you pull up his picture, let's see, what's his name?
Now, is it Okoro whose sister is now on date?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
So for pennies, Thomas and crew have managed to reach out, find this guy, introduce him to the missionaries. The missionaries then took it, converted him. He's going to be a missionary, and his sister is getting baptized too.
Yeah, no, we just started a little super chat here, Goal. Thanks, fam, for everybody that's been sending us super chats. I just thought of something really cool. We're going to send one of these converts a War in Heaven veteran hat. He's going to join vicariously the Ward Radio Wigwam and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here. If we can get it's a
That'd
goal
be amazing.
of any color super chat, but 20 super chats in the next 25 minutes, and we're going to send a War in Heaven veteran hat to a randomly selected one of these people that joins the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And who knows, maybe we make a cool just hand delivery, bro. What if we went and we visited one of these guys, dog? Like, just show up in the middle of Nigeria and says, hey, dog, I heard you got baptized. Who are you? I'm the guy giving you the hat.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? It's
okay.
like, thank you.
By the way, Mamelo is in the waiting room of the Zoom right now.
Oh, get out of town, Mamelo. Now, so who is Mamelo, Thomas? Tell us who this person is that I'm letting into the chat.
Yeah, so she's our operations manager. So she's pretty much responsible for all of the operations. We have a team of 11 people.
She's the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
well,
she
unfortunately, the
manages them all.
secret sauce, I'm not seeing the secret sauce in, you'll have to forgive me, Jonah, but I'm not seeing the secret sauce in the waiting room.
Yeah, as you're pulling it up, I'll just say really quick too that what's crazy about this is we have two occasions last week. We had 2 baptisms, and both of those individuals that were baptized lived in the same ward or area as some of our employees or our
Oh, wow.
volunteers. Yeah, and so they were able to go to those baptisms, take pictures. One of them they interviewed them and everything, and they told us about their experience. One of our first convert baptisms was his name is Zafiro, and one thing he said was really interesting was that he said he's a very shy person, and so for him it was a really good fit for him to be able to connect with missionaries in the way that he did through social media, through the one of our videos, because he wouldn't have naturally been able to come in contact with missionaries through a friend or anything, because he's just really to himself. He's very, and so that's just we're reaching people that wouldn't have been reached otherwise. In different ways.
You're reaching in ways that you might otherwise not find them, faster and more efficient ways. You're getting them to the missionaries. Oh, here's Mamelo. Mamelo, good morning. What time is it over there?
It is now almost 5 a.m.
So you woke up at 5 a.m. tomorrow to talk with us about the Ward Radio Digital Missions collaboration with Gathering Israel, and you did up that super nice shelf behind you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just you go, girl. That's awesome. So you're literally speaking to us from the future, right?
From the future.
Totally, exactly. I'm in tomorrow. Well, today.
Okay, cool. Rock on.
We're just in the past.
Yeah. So, Thomas, tell us what we got to know about Mamelo and what's going on.
Honestly, Mamelo, you should tell him your just quick conversion story. It's actually really cool. You guys should listen to this and how she got involved and everything. I did a ton of different interviews to find the right person. Mamelo just stuck out. She's done an incredible job, and we've seen some amazing successes. But I think that it's changing people's lives that are being involved with this work too. Maybe you can speak to that a little bit too, Mamelo.
Sure. So my conversion story, back in 2007, the missionaries kind of knocked on our door. And I was in the room with my mom because I was in high school then, trying on dresses for a Valentine's ball. And so she left the room and she took incredibly long to come back. And I was really curious why she hasn't come back. So I walked into the living room and I saw these guys in black pants and white shirts. So I was like, oh, these are clearly like salespeople. So I walked right past because I was like, this is not my conversation. And then they called me back. And so I sat down and I thought it was really weird because they had a book I hadn't seen in my entire life. And they're claiming it's about Jesus Christ. So I was like, there's no way. But we were like smiling and like courteous through the entire meeting. And then they set another appointment and they leave. They leave us with copies of the Book of Mormon and give us a section to read. So I'm sitting on the kitchen counter with my mom and I read a couple of verses from Nephi, I think it was. And I was like, Mom, this English is weird. I don't like this. I'm not feeling it. And so my mom's like, yeah, we'll talk about it. And then the appointment comes up and we're outside. She's hanging the washing. And I'm like, so the missionary is going to be here in like 30 minutes. I think we should cancel. And so she's like, well, I agree. You should call. And I'm like, no, you're the adult. You call them and cancel. So we kind of have this back and forth about who's going to cancel the meeting, and neither of us was brave enough to do it. And the missionaries came back.
Guilt.
And they just kept coming back.
Guilt got you.
And yeah, it was just an amazing spirit that they brought every time they visited, even though I was highly skeptical about the Book of Mormon. And I read it to find lies or catch them out, and I never did. And so I investigated for a full year. I only got baptized in September of 2008, but it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. Being a member of the church has been amazing. I've grown my relationship with Heavenly Father in Jesus Christ. I understand my divine purpose. So, and like I'm here now with Gathering Israel. So many amazing things have happened
Oh wow.
through
Very
my
cool.
membership with the church.
Very cool.
That's so amazing.
Very cool. And now you're taking that to as many people as you can. So now you are, well, you're part of harvesting 3,000 new referrals a week as part of Gathering Israel. You're the tip of the spear of the latest.
Well, but what do you do? Like, so you get these referrals and somebody puts in what, their name, their address, telephone number. Now, do you call them and you just have a giant spreadsheet? Do you filter them out to see if they're real people and they're not some evangelical bot? Like, what do you actually do? Like, what's this workflow?
Yeah, so we have the Facebook Instant Forum that's like the primary way of getting our leads. And so we have a couple of verifications that you can set up in the forum for people to verify their number so we know they're real and their number works. And we do have a giant spreadsheet with everyone that we have been getting appointments from. And we send them messages to vet them. I mean, it's a continuously evolving process where we see with the results and the feedback that we're getting from the missionaries, things we need to improve and do a little better. So we're going to start calling them a lot more because we've been very text reliant. So we're going to start calling them now, but more. They send us questions that they have for missionaries. And that's also another thing we use to vet and see who's serious and has real honest intent with meeting with the missionaries. So that's been the primary process. Then we submit them to the church system. We call them up, confirm the appointment with the missionaries and the referral, and then we follow up afterwards to find out how things are going so that in hindsight we can also see the quality of our referrals and see if there's anything else we need to do. So it's like this continuous loop of just checking in and improving things.
And it's that improving of things that Mamelo is summarizing very quickly. That is something that I never did. That the regular digital missionary guys couldn't do to the level and the depth that Mamelo has managed to do. Mamelo and her team have managed to say, you know, okay, we have the cost down this much. How can we get it even more? I mean, she understands marketing and demographic profiling and how to move it, how to use likes, how to leverage the system to get the cost down.
Well, speaking of demographic profiling, no, I was seeing if I could make. I got seeing if I could make Kwaku like perk up. No, but there's one massive demographic that divides people greatly that I see as nearly insurmountable in Africa because there's so many different versions, and that is language. Equatorial Guinea speaks Spanish. They're speaking Swahili. Right. Over here, half these countries speak French. Then there's indigenous, like the word safari came from Tanzania, from Zuahili, I think is a language. Like there's hundreds of languages spoken in this continent. In North America,
that's right.
We got English, we got Spanish. Some Canadians speak that duck weird version of French up there. You know what I'm saying?
Only by force.
Only by force. Yes, exactly. And then you've got a smattering of still spoken indigenous American Indian languages, right? But I mean, we're sporting 15% the linguistic diversity of Africa. So if you're running thousands of ads in how many, 50 different countries, there's not 50 of you, one of each language. Like, how do you overcome the language barrier?
So you would be surprised. Yeah, ChatGPT has been a great tool, but you'd be surprised how many people across Africa actually speak English or understand English. They may not be able to speak as fluently as I do, but we can hold a conversation and understand each other. And that's been the primary thing that's helped us a lot, is that so many people, even in these countries where, for example, in Nigeria, they have so many different dialects of their native languages, so many people still speak English. So it really is a universal language, and that has helped us tap into so many places. Even with their broken English, they're able to tell us, I want to learn about faith, or I want to be closer to Jesus Christ, or I have this and this question. That has been the primary thing that's helped us be in so many other places. And we are testing with other languages as well, ChatGPT, like Thomas said, to do our subtitles for videos in English, in other languages, and so on, just so we're able to reach more people. So that's kind of been the strategy so far.
And it's maturing.
Wow.
It changes all the time. It gets better all the time. Mamelo and her team are reacting and improving, and it changes quite frequently, actually. There have been a lot of off-ramps, and Gathering Israel keeps going and says, nope, we can do this better. We can get around this. We can fix this to keep the program going. So some of the other successes that we have
what
here
are the rest of these pictures, bro? I mean, I'm looking like a guy that looks like he just stepped out of the Ukrainian resistance right here with his
actually,
family.
He kind of did, actually.
Oh, shut up,
Yeah,
really?
straight up, he did.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
I was just talking about a fellow Slav. But,
Now
you
look
know,
at you profiling people.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm good at marketing, just like Quake is good at marketing. It's not profiling, it's marketing, right? So
I saw the wink.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so tell us
one
about
is-
this one, Thomas.
Yeah, that one's Taurus. He's the one that designed our website, and he's incredible at UX. He works for my other company, and he's received the first couple lessons. He's started to read the Book of Mormon. He's not a member. Long story short, he was basically trapped in Ukraine, was able to get across the border in Poland. His story is incredible. He was denied probably like 10 different times trying to leave the country, and finally was able to get through.
Well,
By
you
the
won't
grace of
say it,
God.
Tom. You won't say it, but I'll say it. Thomas definitely got this guy out. Thomas absolutely saved this guy from the Ukrainian war, like 100%.
Really? What'd
Yes.
you do?
Using
So, like,
using Gathering Israel.
This guy, let me tell you two quick stories. One, right across the street from him, literally like right across the street, one of the it's like a gas station or something got blown up, and there was a big giant pillar of fire. He sent us a video, and then another night he went out to go see there was some drones flying by, and when he got out of his apartment or whatever, there were shots firing around him, and it was a dangerous place where he was at, and we were able to get him out.
Okay. Wow. Holy smoke.
and so Taurus designed the website, and he reacts. So he's still updating and changing as we go. He's awesome. So the website is sleek and beautiful, and anybody can go there and check it out. But there's more.
So the
successes.
Russians and the
Gathering
Ukrainians
Israel.
are good hackers.
Oh, legit.
You
they
hired
are.
the hacker.
Oh, they are good hackers.
Okay,
Absolutely.
rock on. So, Brad,
So,
catch us up on
GatheringIsrael.org is the
.org.
website.
Yes.
GatheringIsrael.org.
Okay, catching us up on Super Chats. We're halfway to our goal. This is awesome. So here we are. We have Daniel Johnson says, love Ward Radio and all y'all do from Texas. Thank you, Daniel. Next up, not your average Dan. Cue the Oprah meme. You get a hat, and you get a hat, and you get a hat. Everyone gets a hat. Then Mary Lou Howarth says, this is a great idea. Love Ward Radio. Luke Hansen says, go Sierra Leone. They've opened a district in a new city in the past 3 months. Tell Jonah not to knock over my saint candle. Great work, guys.
No, I never would. That would be a grievous sin to knock over Luke's candle.
So grievous. Next up, Minor Prophet Ian Malcolm says, donated to the site. Love the update emails. Let us all press on. Keep up the good work. With a salute.
That's right. If you donate, you become part of the team, and you then get the newsletter where we give you updates on the progress, the statistics, and things like that. Right, Thomas?
Yeah, and I'll just say this too. Like it's we're not coming into this saying, "Hey, we've figured this out." Obviously, we've learned a lot along the way, but hey, we're open to suggestions. Like we're looking to dial this in even further. So, we've got really good feedback from people who have donated and have helped us improve what our processes are, and so you can send those, to support at Gathering Israel. It's on our website, but
Awesome.
send us your comments, suggestions, whatever. If you want to subscribe to our newsletter, you can get weekly updates, monthly updates. Yeah.
Sick.
Awesome.
Then next up, we've got Buddy Coles. It says, Gathering Israel looks like such a wonderful program. Good on y'all for getting it set up and using it to build and contribute to the kingdom of God.
Woo!
Awesome. And then Luke Torrey. Guys, Luke Torrey dropped 100 and said, let's go Ward Radio. Been watching since Gold Plates in Arabia.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, Luke.
Okay.
Also, another Luke and Canadian.
Ah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's running
How'd
the
you
whole-
know? Because the Tories were the people that sided with the crown.
No, because he gave us 100 Canadian dollars.
We don't appreciate Tories in this country.
Yeah, I should have called him a loyalist. That's what I should have called him. You know.
Awesome. And then Tim Wright family says, let's go. Minor Prophet Ian Malcolm again says, a bronze statue of Mamelo on Temple Square when?
Hey, let's make it happen.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
down with that, Mamelo? Are you down?
I'm down. Let's do it.
He's like the modern day Dan Jones. You should tell him about that, Jonah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, Carden knows a story about Dan Jones.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was always technologically advanced throughout the entire restoration, okay?
Yep.
Whether it was Joseph Smith using the new type of print to print the Book of Mormon that was less than, 5 years old, whether it was us being early adopters of radio. We have the longest
That's
running
right.
radio program dating back to the 20s when most people didn't even know what amplitude modulated radio was, also known as AM. We were freaking early adopters of that cheese, blasting the gospel everywhere. Whether it was Dan Jones, who used, modular movable type in
Yes.
order to print his flyers and then flyer throughout Wales. That was less than 6-month-old technology when he
the
started
small
doing that.
Printing presses, pamphleting was like this new thing.
We have
Yeah.
always been technologically advanced until we formed the church office building.
Oh, jeez.
In 1977,
Reset the sign.
in 1977,
We need an
when
actual
we
sign.
bureaucratized our church, we then went from being avant-garde, because the priesthood is always avant-garde, to being the same slow and ineffectual and as the DMV. And now we don't even have young men worldwide until February of 2024. And when we do, it looks like a Relief Society website. So now we had to have the capitalists step back in and set us straight. And fortunately, we at least got the good-looking guy who looks like a dental commercial. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, I
looks.
got something to say about this too, Carden.
What?
You know, we are, speaking of technology, AI has helped significantly with what we are doing. So, Mamela, you can probably speak to this a little bit, but one of the things that we've benefited from is in cracking this code of getting our costs down and our quality up. It's not just getting our costs down. We're increasing the quality of these leads. So we're getting more appointments, higher quality, because what happens is you run this ad, right? And then it goes past what we call the learning phase. Now, a lot of the ads that maybe Jonah's team has run in the past, it probably hasn't got really out of the learning phase, is what they call it. Once you get out of the learning phase, that the algorithms of Facebook and using AI to make changes on the fly and figure out where we're going to have the biggest impact, that allows us to get our quality up, our costs down, and it's played a significant role in what we're doing.
It's hard to summarize. It's hard to summarize some of these things without going down into the weeds. Thomas is giving a really high level.
Then
'cause
tell
it's
us
hard
about the
without-
weeds. I want to know. This
Here's
is cool.
another thing. Here's another thing for you. Is we use a lot of AI to validate the data. So when they're putting in their addresses, we got to make sure that they're legit addresses. That they're in the right place, the right format, all this stuff, right? Because there's I can't tell you the amount of stuff we get, right? So we use large LLMs, different AI models to help refine that data and to automate a lot of these processes. I have a team of expert AI developers. They're all experts in AI, and they helped me build. They built our platform with my other software, but for this specifically, we put on a couple of our best developers, and they're absolutely crushing it. And we're using a lot of AI to help with a lot of the automation, the refining of the data to allow us to scale. So it's actually very important.
And you can see in this graph card, and there's a graph in the Discord, and it shows two lines. It shows a brown dotted line and then a green line.
okay.
And these are this is the weekly update that we get, and that you'll get if you donate together, Israel, of referrals versus the average cost per referral.
Okay, I'm going to be pulling that up
See if you can go
right
find
now.
that.
No, I already got it in the
As
previous
you pull it up,
one.
should I catch us up on some more super
Well,
chats?
yeah, and before you catch us up on Super Chats really fast, I just got a message for Austin Falter. Austin Falter, if you have the time, you can ceremoniously log into the Zoom link. I'll put it in the Discord, and you can turn the sign. You can just turn the sign. You know, it'll be like
The COB rant sign.
the COB rant sign. You're the keeper of the sign. Brad's the keeper of the chats. You know what I'm saying? Here's the graph you're looking at. I'm gonna send you the Zoom link, man, and then you can flip the sign. Just even if you just join us for 30 seconds, bro, you can flip the sign. So here's the graph, and then Brad's gonna be reading some data, if you will.
So this right here is number of referrals per month versus average cost. So this is monthly, but the brown line is the cost per referral, and then the green is the number of referrals. So you can tell that when we start to get brains like Mamelo and some ChatGPT T1000 Skynet brains looking at this thing, that it flips not a little. I mean, it completely backflips, and now we're getting thousands of referrals for pennies, literally pennies. I mean, and a good referral, a contact for a missionary to go see somebody who has said, I'm interested in the gospel, found them in the middle of nowhere for less than $1. And that's how efficient the system is developed. So you can see that at first we were trying to develop this thing, and it's matured over the past several months to be what it is now.
Now, I got one question. I got one question for Thomas and Mamelo. And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather talk to Mamelo, Thomas. Sorry.
Yeah, that's great.
She's just, she's more interesting than you. No, I'm totally just kidding with you,
Garden,
Thomas.
you
I'm
savage.
totally just kidding.
Hey, she's the brains behind it all, so
dude,
that's great.
on.
I'm glad we have her on.
The question I had, is there a common through line of like what interests these people? Because like we'd like to say, oh, they're interested in the gospel. But I mean, the only understanding that somebody can have, I've been a missionary. And when people are interested, oftentimes they're it's either weird interest about what makes these guys so smiley and happy that they would come down here and do this with us. There's something to this. We recognize that, okay, those are the first promptings of the Spirit, but like at the same time, people don't know who Mormons are. If they live in a Catholic country, they can only contextualize Jesus and religion through the Catholic lens that they've been raised with. Or if they're in a Protestant country, they can only contextualize the gospel through the very Protestant lens they're used to. Sometimes in like diverse urban societies, they might have some Mormon friends. But even then, like there's usually common through lines and sparks of interest, right? Like, what drives the average person that sees one of these Facebook ads in Africa to be interested in clicking and then starting that process? What's sparking the interest? Either Thomas or Mamelo, preferably Mamelo.
I was gonna say, Mamelo, you should take this one. I just wanted to add really quick. You should tell them too about the questions that they ask us, because we're getting not only when people submit these referrals, they're asking really good questions, and we vet them. If they're not asking good questions, we call them up and make sure they're legit, right? Anyways, Mamelo, you can.
Oh,
you can
and
speak
sorry,
to that.
before Mamelo talks, I'm sorry. We have to go to the gallery view because there's Austin. There's Austin, who's just he's flipping the sign right
Resetting
there.
to 0.
0 days.
Back at 0.
Since-
We had a streak, dude. We had 2 days.
We had
That was a
2
record.
days.
That was a streak.
Now you got to say something. You got to unmute. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. All right,
Man,
whatever.
Wow.
In and out.
Okay, Mamelo, do your thing. Do your thing.
So, what's really been working? Well, first of all, Africans are really religious people. And in some areas, they're really open and receptive to learning anything about religion than others. Like, for example, Nigeria, where they have lots of different religions. So they're very open to learning. But what works is focusing on Jesus Christ. You know how even when the missionaries introduced the Book of Mormon, they always flip to the picture of Jesus Christ? That's always the talking point that gets the people. They have an interest in knowing about Jesus Christ. Maybe, they had their own experiences with other Christian denominations, or just questions that they've had. And they see these ads where we're focused on Jesus Christ, and maybe the angle is a specific gospel principle. And then that's what sparks the interest and the questions. And some will ask, what happens after we die? Where do we go? Is God aware of me? Like, does he know that I exist? Does he care about his people? Some people will ask, is this a sin? And if it is, how do I get out of it? Because I need help. Some people just say things like, I really need deliverance. So, focusing on Jesus Christ has been the common thread that's really been working with different people. Different angles work for different people, but just focusing on Jesus Christ has been the primary thing that works.
Okay,
yeah.
also,
Yeah.
fam, we got 3 minutes and 40 seconds
Oh, jeez.
left in our goal. If we're going to send a hat to one of these converts, I don't know, maybe we just have to give one to Mamelo. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we gotta get, Although I don't know, like last time I tried sending something overseas, customs charged me like an extra $120. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that needs to be like 30 super chats, right? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so here it is. Here it is. We still got 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in the goal. We got 11 out of 20 super chats that we need to send one of these fresh converts a hat. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see some of these successes. These people,
hit
faces
'em.
of people who have accepted the gospel of Jesus Christ, who were found using this new technology.
Okay, so let's go into the pictures. Here's the first picture. One guy looks really, really happy. The other guy doesn't.
Oh, I can't
So,
remember this guy's name.
Yeah, come on. Tell us what's going on here, bro.
I can't see the picture, but I am assuming it's Arabanbi.
Is it Arabanbi?
Arabanbi and Essene, S-E-N. I don't know how to pronounce it.
He went to
They're
the
both
baptism.
in Nigeria. And just to...
Well, you got to tell the one that's not smiling. He's got to look a little bit happier than that. You know what I'm saying?
I
You're
think
getting
I know which one you're
baptized,
talking
brother.
about. Yeah, I think is he the one next to the
The guy in the cool
guy
shirt.
with the black shirt?
Yes.
Yeah. That's Kimball. So on the left is Kimball. He works with us.
Yeah.
So he's one of our volunteers. So this guy's literally like in his ward. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
And found this guy.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, we learned last minute that he was going to get baptized, by the way. We didn't even know. And they're like, oh, hey, he's about to get baptized. We're like, oh,
Like, in
great.
my ward, by the way.
Glad
Yeah.
we knew that. Oh, and then he's right there next to Kimball. All right, why don't you go to his baptism? He's
Yeah,
like,
now
okay,
we don't have 100% visibility to everything. We can only see a certain amount of it. We think we capture much of it, but there are successes that we're not capturing.
Well, and if the missionaries aren't getting back to you
Yeah.
and they're not talking to you, like
Right.
for all you know, they've been visiting with the guy all week doing service
Yeah.
projects, had great spiritual experience, and you're dealing with a bunch of numbskull 19-year-old boys. You know, I'm like, not all of them.
Yeah.
we were them,
Yeah,
we were
exactly.
them too. Yeah.
Some of
Let-
us
let
more
me-
than others.
Yes, and let me articulate one thing too. You know, when you submit a referral, like just so that you know, like, okay, so there's two gaps here. One is, let's say I'm interested, and let's say I go to the church's website, comingtochrist.org, whatever. I submit my information. Do you know what happens to my experience as a friend? I guess you don't call them investigators anymore, but you know what happens is you submit it, and then you get this response saying, "Great, we'll get back to you." Like, basically is what that says.
Right.
And then the missionaries are supposed to reach out to that person really quickly. I mean, if anyone knows anything about sales or leads or whatever,
You get
speed
that-
to lead
yeah.
is super important.
Right.
Right. But I would be surprised if the speed to lead right now, currently, without our system, is like 48 to 72 hours. You know, I would be surprised if it's less than that. Because sometimes these referrals would get submitted and it'd be like 2 weeks, you know, like in 2 P days, they'd get to it. And then by that time, the lead is cold, you know.
And this is where
And so-
evangelicals do really well, though, because evangelicals, their speed to lead is nearly instantaneous because it's all centered around the actual church building. You know what I'm saying? Like when people show up for church with their friends, they're physically in the building. And even though it's a mega church, there's a reception desk. They give you free copies of the Bible. There's donut holes with coffee before you show up. You know, like the speed to lead is nearly instantaneous, right? And visitors might drop something in a little suggestion box and they get back to you a little bit later. But like the experience there, like Crossroads Church, where I live, is phenomenal at this. Like, their creeds are an abomination, but their marketing is a marvelous work and a wonder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just the way it is, man.
Yeah, and there's another part of this too, where it's like the missionaries, if they were, trained on this, or they had a better notification, or somebody calling them up, right, they would be able to get to these faster. So what's cool about what we do is we bridged both of those gaps. One is, as quickly as we can. I don't know, a lot of times within a few hours. Our goal is to get that down to under 6 hours. I mean, really, really quick. Like, actually, a lot of times it's way faster than that. But we contact the lead and we say, hey, by the way, here's your missionaries. Right? Here's their contact info. And then we talk to the missionaries and say, hey, missionaries, this is your lead, right? Mm-hmm. And we got a team of, we call them whippersnappers. They just snap the whip for the missionaries. They're like, hey, you guys need to be contacting these individuals. And if they're not, I mean, like some of these missionaries are stellar. They're just locked in. I mean, it's taken some time to get them used to it. Cause I mean,
and then others are from Sandy.
I mean, they went, yeah.
No, but some of them
I
are
take
not.
personal offense to that. As someone who grew up in Cottonwood Heights, which was part of Sandy.
but some of them, the Thomas and Mamelo, you can kind of, some of them are not. Some missionaries aren't used to the system, or they don't. Perhaps they've been jaded by bad referrals in the past, or for whatever reason they're not following up as fast as they could be. And you want it speedily. You want to get that down as hard as you can. So what the Gathering Israel does is it shortens that step, and it says, okay, exactly. we'll make a second contact with them to try to draw them in if the missionaries haven't yet. It's brilliant.
Okay, so we're already 10 minutes into overtime. We're going to be having to end soon here, but I see a buttload of pictures. What's this next picture that we have right here? It's just a
Oh,
chapel somewhere. It looks South American, actually, with all the brick and everything.
Oh,
and
Cardin's pretending he does. You know what this is. So this is a.
What's this one?
This is Cabeza Nicaragua. So this was.
Oh,
before,
is this the canoe? Oh, okay. No,
Yes,
you're
yes,
right.
yes.
I thought it was from an Ensign article. No,
Yeah.
you had sent me this for the Firm Foundation.
Right.
Okay, cool.
This
That's
is-
making
this is
sense. That's
Ward
making
Radio,
sense.
This is Ward Radio mission success. This is kind of pre-Gathering Israel, but it was a proof of concept that if you take out ads, and one of the Ward Radio missionaries did this in a particular area he felt passionate about, and it was hard to get feedback. And then we had a missionary there who's actually a Ward Radio fan somehow find us and say, I was down there, and this day we had 75 baptisms in a single day. Now, remember, this does not get baptisms, but it gets referrals. It finds. It's up to the Spirit and the person and the missionary to do the rest. But it showed that, oh my gosh, this can work. This can totally work. So this right here is Okoro. Or no,
Okay.
yes?
Okoro? Yeah.
This is Okoro right
The
here.
four
He's
people.
Second
The
to
four
the,
people
second
in
to the
one.
left.
Okay.
There's one. Yeah, there's one where he looks like he's like I don't know, like
Now the
he's
missionary
just
on the
super
right needs to smile. Like, look at that missionary on the right. He looks like he's in a mugshot. Like, oh man, I can't wait to go home. Is there chips and dip at home?
Americans are just really smiley. We're just used to like
we got to get
really
these guys
smiley.
smiling, man.
Except for Mamelo. Mamelo's super smiley.
Yeah, dude.
Actually,
what's up, Mamelo?
maybe she learned that from us. But Mamelo's super smiley. Bright
So
smile.
okay, so what's the story of these guys?
Okoro.
Well-
So yeah, that's the one. Go ahead, Thomas. You can tell.
Yeah, we told the story of Okoro, but he's the one that is going to institute now and is preparing for a mission. There's another guy that's preparing for a mission. He's got a blue tie. He's in the middle. He's in front of the church building. Maybe you can pull that one up.
Got it. It's up.
He is. I can't pronounce.
Sorry,
it.
keep
Let me-
going.
let me
There's
look up his name.
it's not quite that one. It's another one.
This
There's a
one
lot.
right
there
here.
he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his name, and Mamelo, you can maybe tell me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. I don't know. Adeboale. Adeboale.
Yes, you're close, Adeboale.
There you go. So he is preparing to go on a mission. That guy is he just looks like a stud. I don't know.
Yeah, he looks like he's dead.
Mamela, do you know a little bit? I think you know maybe a little bit more about his story. I have it pulled up here, but
He's the one who wants to serve, but he's almost aging out.
yeah. So
Right.
here's a couple of let's see here. Let me see here. I spoke with a bishop about wanting to be a missionary. He said that I can only serve if I'm 25. I'll be 26 in October this year, so I can still be a missionary. I'm ready for the classes, and I pray my Heavenly Father will make it successful for me. That guy is gonna like baptize nations.
He's
I mean,
gonna
just
be
look
a
at him.
great missionary. He's gonna be
So-
great.
Wow. Okay, next picture then. Oh,
Some of the
Mamelo, you want to
questions
say
we
something?
receive is people saying they want to be a missionary. So there's some
Yeah.
people who see like our ads with pictures of missionaries in it and what they do. And they're like, I want to do this too. I want to be a missionary. I want to share the gospel, though they don't know anything about us, but they just see that and they feel inspired.
Awesome. And then this picture was Canuto de Leon's referrals, and there was that's a football player guy. What's his name
Yes.
again?
Jake
on.
Clifton.
Jake Clifton. Gosh, dude, chemo brain is real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I did this presentation like 6 weeks ago, and I'm already forgetting, dude.
Yeah. He was a fan of the show, and he demonstrated this success exactly where we had run a campaign. And so it works. These are real people, real lives.
Yeah,
real
this is
people changing
awesome.
their lives.
And then who's this girl that is in the Make America Great Again hat right there?
We don't know.
the
She
red
attended
hat?
the baptism. We
Oh,
don't
she
know her.
attended the baptism. Okay, what about this one?
That's Zafiro. You wanna
Zafiro.
tell about
Okay,
Zafiro?
tell him about Zafiro. Mamelo. What's Zafiro's story right here? Zafiro looks cool. This looks like a Filipino dude with some sick glasses.
Yeah.
Is he Filipino?
So, yes, he is. He is.
Pegged it.
So he's-
I'm telling you, I'm from Los Angeles, dude. You know who he looks like? You know, okay, I'm friends with one of the very first Navy SEALs. He got like trained in the 70s or whatever before they were even called the SEALs. One of the first Navy SEALs was a skinny, wiry Filipino dude. And he's like totally tough. His name's Caesar, rock solid. He's like in his 70s or 80s now, which means he only looks like he's in his 50s, right? But the guy's like a total alpha Chad and looks exactly like this dude if he were to put on glasses.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy could be a Navy SEAL. He looks about 5 foot nothing. I don't know if or maybe the guy next to him is just super tall. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, keep going. Tell us, Mamelo.
Yeah, so he first came across the missionaries in the early 90s when he was in college, and his friend invited the missionaries over, and he said he was really busy at the time, but the experience really stood out to him, but he didn't have time to meet with the missionaries after that. And then like years later, he came across our ad and he was like, oh, wait, I remember seeing these guys back in 19 whatever. And so he booked an appointment, and very quickly after he responded to our ad, the missionaries reached out to us and they're like, Zafiro is amazing. He has a great interest in the gospel and he already wants to get baptized. So, he just was really receptive to all of the lessons, and he got baptized in February, I think it was. So he was really excited to receive the gospel again. He was ready and available when he saw our ad.
So
Yeah, he
Dude,
went to
this
church
is
like
so
every
amazing.
week. He met the
Yeah.
missionaries, and like every week he was just faithful right at church, just like he was a golden investigator.
Now, who was the one, Thomas Mamelo? Who was the one who said, "I never would have opened the door to missionaries"?
It's Zafiro.
Is that Zafiro? Yeah, he's the one who said,
Yep.
"I
Yeah.
never would have opened the door to missionaries." It was this ad. This ad was the only thing that could have reached me. So not only does this system reach people faster and less, and for
Wait,
less money, more
but how
efficiently?
can he be a golden investigator and be saying, I would never open up the door to missionaries? Does
Because
he
he's just shy. He's just super shy.
He's very shy.
He's like,
Yeah,
I
the
never would
missionaries
have.
It's
done
not
the
an
same thing.
aggressive, I would never open the door for missionaries like
It's
you
not like-
would say.
It's not like those guys.
I would never.
It's like a timid, like, I would never open the door.
Yeah.
You know?
Do I just purposely impose aggression onto everything that is just what you?
No, Garden.
It's like, okay.
But
That's
so not
funny.
only is the system able to reach people faster and farther and more efficiently, it reaches people who you couldn't reach. You couldn't normally reach. You couldn't, if you knocked on their door, they wouldn't open it. And so this is a game-changing system, a game-changing technology that can find people. This can actually fulfill the charge of the Savior to take the gospel to the whole world.
Okay.
This can do it.
We got 12 minutes left. 12 minutes left, Brad.
I better catch us up on some
Catch
Super
us up
Chats.
on Super Chats, and then last couple of stories. Then we got to bounce, man.
All right. Luke Hansen says, African Christians don't care about the Trinity. That's one reason why they're so awesome and convert at high rates.
Is that true, Mamelo? You're not plagued by
that's
the
great.
creedal abominations?
Carson. Oh my God.
They are. They are.
Is that true, Mamelo? Or yeah, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's so many different Christian denominations across Africa. And so people are just really open to learning. We're not set on a specific idea. We're open to hearing, although there are some who are just like, yes, it's a Trinity and there's nothing else. But a lot of people are just really open-minded about it.
Okay.
Love it.
Plus, I love that Ethiopian Bible, baby. They had the Book of Enoch.
true.
They had the Book of Enoch. I'm
Based.
telling you, Africa's
true.
based. Africa's based. They got Mamelo, big smile, Mamelo.
Christianity is
Mamelo means big smile in what language?
It means you should tell them your name. Yeah, your
Yeah,
meaning of
it
your name.
actually means patience.
Oh.
Oh.
And my second name is actually Patience.
So her
they
name is
named me the
Patience,
same thing
Patience.
twice.
So when you
Yeah.
name your child Patience, Patience, does that cancel them out? And then they end up being very impatient?
It negates it.
Well, it made it very exponential. I'm very, very patient with stuff in general, so it just doubled.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. What is that from?
From
Dumb and
Dumber.
Dumber. You know? Okay, cool. So,
Okay,
keep
Falter
going.
Media up next. He says, "You have my sword. Seriously, hit me up, Choco Guy." I have no
Choco
idea what
Guy.
that's in
Am I
reference
the
to.
Choco guy?
Yeah, because he's a Choco
Okay.
guy.
Thomas,
Cool.
am I the
Okay.
Choco
Sure.
guy now?
I mean, I haven't used them in probably 2 years, but hey, I guess I'll go by the Choco guy.
And what sword does he have? What sword of yours does he have?
No,
Austin?
he's saying, how can I help?
That is Lord of the Rings reference, Carden.
Oh, you have my sword.
Yeah.
And my
Oh,
bow.
okay,
Nice.
cool. All right, awesome.
And
Okay.
my axe.
All right. So then we got Snagrit, 2 years in the wigwam. Let's go. Love this so much, guys. Missionary work is one of the most holy things we can do. Keep it rolling.
Rock on.
And then Daniel Johnson, last minute hat win. Buddy Cole saying nothing, just going for it, yeeting it out there to try to get us toward the goal.
Yeet.
Yep. And then Minor Prophet Ian Malcolm, will you guys be restocking Flex Fit black hats?
Yes, we will. We are woefully low on merch. In fact, I was thinking of just kind of doing a clearance sale. In fact, actually, if you guys would be interested in a clearance on the merch that we do have, I can use those funds to just go buy a new batch. I've been also saving up because you have to order these things in quantity sometimes, unfortunately, to get the individual unit price down. So I have to sell through a bunch before I can order a bunch more. But they are incoming. They are incoming. Right now we have almost all the Flex Fit hats in large, extra large. We're out of all the small mediums. We're out of a lot of the blacks. We're out of all the snapbacks. Those are super popular. They will be coming soon. But we still got a bunch of shirts and a bunch of War in Heaven veteran shirts as well. So coming soon. I would estimate within 2 to 3 weeks, my man. Go on and submit a back in stock request. And when the new inventory hits, it sends you an email and you guys will be the first to get dibs on it. And I got to tell you, some of these things, I'm going to be ordering like 10 and there's already 6 back in stock requests. So make sure that you become one of those back in stock requests and you hit that as soon as it gets back in stock so you get it, you know? So you ask and you shall receive, order back in stock requests and it shall be delivered unto you. So anyway, keep going, Brad.
Oh, next up, Tanner Hodges. He says, short-time listener, first-time super chatter. Speaking of hats, when will the Black War in Heaven veteran snapbacks be back in stock?
Yeah, well,
Oh.
You anticipated him.
Rock on. Thank you very
for
much,
you,
Tanner.
Tanner.
Nice. And then Charlotte Barnes, I thought I threw away that hat, Jonah.
Yeah, you thought you did, but you didn't. But you didn't. I found it in the drawer. You thought it was gone, and it wasn't gone, so I got it back.
You do look like a little hip hop gangster right now.
Well, I am. What are you talking about? I am a hip hop gangster.
Like, who does he remind you of, Quaker?
I was
right
super
now, like,
into hip
there's-
hop. When I was a musician, it was hip hop and rap. That was what I did. I was super into it.
Okay.
Lindsey Sterling and I were big into hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
Lindsey Sterling was into hip hop and rap. Really?
With Jonah. Yes.
Really? Oh, didn't you date her?
Oh, God.
Oh, you opened
did.
up
I
the
did,
can
I
of
did. I
worms.
shouldn't have
forgot.
said anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonah
Jonah
dated
said
Lindsey
anything.
Sterling.
Jonah dated Lindsey Sterling.
Let
That
me read the next.
scoundrel.
I'll just read the next super chat from Jonah's wife, Charlotte Barnes. She says,
Well,
"Congratulations."
that's fine because she dated one of the Marriotts and settled for him.
Ooh,
Oh,
there you go.
true or not true? True or not true?
No, that's not
Or was
true.
that Huntsman? Was it Huntsman?
No,
I don't
no.
remember.
No, her mother dated Henry B. Eyring.
Okay.
But
okay. I don't know. No, she seems too smart for you, bro.
I-
I'll be
well,
honest.
no, that's
she
true.
She speaks multiple
people
languages.
think this a lot. People
She's-
think they meet us and they're like, so what did he tell you?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
play?
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway,
So-
Quaker L does not have that problem. but
Well, I didn't date Lindsay Sterling.
I took
Yet.
her out on like a couple dates.
There's still a
wasn't a
chance,
thing.
Quaker.
Did
It
she
was
play
like-
violin for you?
oh no,
She
you
did.
played the, wait, you played the guitar for her because you were the rock star in the band at my parties.
took her
Did
out.
did you ever serenade Lindsay Sterling with a guitar?
And I don't think you could technically call it. No, we were. I
Did
was in
you
a
play
band.
the guitar for Lindsay Sterling?
I played the guitar for a crowd of people which she might have been in, but not
okay,
like.
that's not
yeah,
the same.
No.
All right.
Anyways, what were we saying again? What were
Oh,
we,
Charlotte
what-
was saying, congratulations on the launch of Gathering Israel. This is definitely hastening the work.
Okay. Cool.
100%, Charlotte. I love it. It's awesome to see.
And then there's Thomas. Thank you for devoting so much time, talents, kingdom.
Oh, I am not
There's
seeing that
another-
one.
It's the
Jonah.
last one that just came in.
Is it true you couldn't enter the temple because of you and Lindsay Sterling?
No, that's not
I've
at all.
I've heard.
I took her out
There's
on
a
a couple dates.
I've heard there's a secret baby, love baby between Jonah Barnes and Lindsay Sterling. running
Oh,
around
it's
Utah.
probably really good at stringed instruments.
Final one. Final super chat. Once again from Jonah's wife, Charlotte Barnes. She says, Thomas, thank you for devoting so much of your time, talents, and money to building the kingdom. I love that book by your lamp.
Oh, hey, that's my book. I didn't even
Absolutely,
notice.
yes.
didn't notice
We
that was
got
your
key to
book?
the
Oh, I
keystone
didn't
over
notice.
here.
Oh, wow.
So now, while we're prodding Jonah about his dating life,
Oh,
Charlotte,
jeez,
did you ever feel like
please.
you settled? Just be
Oh, my
honest. Did you
gosh.
ever feel like you settled for Jonah? Now's your chance to come clean. You know what I'm saying? Your parents were like, don't
safe
date him.
space.
It's a safe space. You can come out now.
I have it on good authority that Jonah and Lindsay Sterling's
Oh,
kid is a vehement anti-Mormon. That is.
Dude, your mother, you're not your mother. Your wife's never letting you come back down.
I heard
again.
it. I heard a credible rumor. Can anyone confirm?
Yes. Oh, dude, yeah, that's like such a John DeLynn trope right
Yes,
there.
it is,
I've got a
yes.
good authority that I heard. Although, dude, Charlotte is right now top 3 women in the world for me right now. With
I think
her-
Charlotte hates me now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No.
No.
Gonna
'cause
poison one of those bagels next time you come down.
Dude, she's single-handedly responsible, basically, for what's going on this week. If
Big
you think
stuff.
about it,
Big stuff.
like we can't say now, but like
she's my.
there
she's
there are
my
many
girl.
laurels that can be laid at the feet of one Charlotte Barnes
And
right
she
now.
did it like a Disney princess.
And she did it like
She
a Disney
did it
princess.
with woodland animals and brutal receipts.
Yeah, dude, it was hardcore, man.
You shouldn't use the word brutal while you got blood on your sleeve.
She made this for me, actually. She made this. My sweet wife made this for me.
Sorry, not sorry, Laban.
Yeah.
Wait, she
Nice.
did? I thought it was one of those.
I thought you stole that from a homeless man.
No, she butchered Laban and then wrote this and gave it to me.
Wait, that's not one of those Nauvoo supply shirts?
No. This is.
No,
this
because you can
is-
see the marker where it's right on. You can see it's not printed on.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's actually kind of cool.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, that's hardcore. I thought
Yeah.
you
You
purchased
can tell
that
Nephi
Nauvoo
was a
supply.
righty.
Speaking of hardcore, have you liked and subscribed?
Yeah.
A hardcore fan would.
Okay, cool. So before we go, are there any needs?
How is that candle stayed at the exact same burning position? This thing's going in for 4
It's
hours.
magic.
It
It's
has
a
not
saintly candle.
once gone down.
It's got the power of St. Luke.
Don't you know what happened with the Maccabees and the menorah?
Yeah.
You're looking at the Ward Radio menorah.
Don't you
right
know?
now.
Haven't you
Ah,
read Maccabees?
Phil, that's gonna come back to haunt you.
It's the power of it's the power of Luke. It's the power of Luke. He's the saint of all things. What's it called?
Sunglasses, Bible bashing, and the Mesoamerican geography model.
Okay.
By the
rock
way,
on.
I need you to give that outfit to Jacob Hansen because I have a really good nickname for when Jacob Hansen wears that. Because you're kind of dressed like a little hip hop rapper now, right?
Okay, I guess.
So when Jacob Hansen's gonna wear it, I'm gonna call him Luda Christopher Columbus.
Okay.
He'd probably love that. He'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, that is me.
Yeah, I'm digging. Okay, so
Okay, so the website, gatheringisrael.org, anybody can go navigate there right now and look. If you would like, you can donate to it. You can then get a newsletter from it. And 100% of those donations are tax deductible, and they go towards the actual ads. They do not go towards operation or admin or anything else, or to Thomas's teeth care. None of that. They go straight towards.
Even though it looks like they do.
It looks like they do.
Yeah.
It looks like $1 million smile.
yeah.
Thank you. I
But-
appreciate it. And I will say this too: 100% of the credit does not even go to us; it goes to God. I really want to say that. I want to put in a plug. I mean, this is like we really feel the hand of God in what we're doing, and we've seen a ton of successes, some true like miracles that are happening. And I just want to iterate, like, we're not taking credit for this, right? Like, this isn't like, yes, it's a really cool idea, but at the same time, it's like we're just simply we're gathering Israel. We're setting leads for missionaries. It's not like I mean, it's what we're doing is revolutionary, but it's like on paper, it's not like necessarily a revolutionary idea, but we are seeing incredible miracles, results. People's lives are being changed. We are truly gathering Israel, and it's not our work. It is God's work, and we get to participate, and we are honestly, we're the ones that are blessed from participating in this.
And 170 odd years ago, Elder William Walker stood up in the public square under the statue of King Billy in Hull, England, and he sold a copy, his first copy, of the Book of Mormon to a 17-year-old kid. And that 17-year-old kid was my forefather, Charles Barnes. And that's how my family came to the gospel, was hearing this. And he almost gave up on that city. He said, no one is listening to this. He preached for months, and my forefather was the first man to buy a copy of the Book of Mormon from him.
Oh, speaking of, actually, there's a story that most people don't know about Parley P. Pratt. And it's one of the coolest stories ever. So this was 3 weeks before Joseph and Hyrum were assassinated. Parley P. Pratt is he kind of knows what's going on. Okay, everyone kind of feels something crazy is about to happen. There's a beggar that comes into town, no clothes, no nothing, and Parley remembers, man, like the scripture about if I give this guy the clothing off my back,
right, right.
So takes off his jacket, takes off his shirt, puts it on the guy, and feeds him dinner, gives him milk. Says, look, I'm here to take care of you. And that guy was so, he was so, grateful. Heart exploded with joy because of Parley P. Pratt. Goes on to say, just completely changed my life. Comes back, says, I want to help with the hymns. And Parley's like, well, Emma's on that. Like, we have all the women doing it. Says, but I know through God you can transfer your strength to something else. So this guy goes to New York. Okay, became a famous composer and everything, right? Well, this guy grew up to be Elton John.
Elton John. Elton John. Wow.
You had us.
I really want to see how long
I knew from the very beginning. I saw the smile, and I thought, this is not going the way he says it's going. There's no way. Sorry, as I was saying, but what this technology is doing is it's finding that answer. Do you know that foremother who first accepted the gospel in your line? Or maybe you're that person. This technology is going and finding those people. Each one of these converts is a line, is generations of people whose fate is going to be changed because they are finding the gospel of Jesus Christ. This is an amazing quantum leap. This is hyperdrive. This isn't a linear growth. This is an exponential growth. I think this is the coolest thing I've ever touched before. I think it's amazing.
Okay, so final thoughts before we incessantly bother Jonah Barnes about having dated Lindsey Sterling. So any final thoughts, Mamelo and Thomas?
You go first,
Sure.
Mamelo.
It's been such an amazing experience. Like Thomas said, I feel like the hand of the Lord has really been upon our work. I mean, we pray a lot over the work that we do to receive discernment about where to run our ads, what to fix, what to improve. And it's definitely been him and the Spirit leading us in the right places to figure out where to run these ads and how to get the cost down. Sometimes I'm even shocked sometimes at how well things go. Like, I was just experimenting and trying this, and then it just completely blows up. So it's really been an amazing experience. I love to be part of something so unique because I found the gospel through the missionaries. And so many people get to have the similar experience through this digital initiative. So it's really been just such a humbling experience for me. And I'm super excited to have people know about it and be part of it too.
Rock on, Thomas. Hit us, baby. Hit us, my man.
Yeah, I feel like this is just a huge blessing to me. It's I feel like it's in my patriarchal blessing, and there's specific things that talk about sharing the gospel and how I can play an integral part with the skills that I have. And I've just been very blessed to have Mamelo, my brother as well. He's we haven't talked about him, but he's done incredible behind the work scenes, administrative wise, and helping us get rolling with different platforms. And anyways,
Did he date anybody famous?
No.
Yes, his
Okay.
wife. Yes,
Okay.
his
Yeah.
wife.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Well,
his
just
wife.
making sure. Just making sure.
What a huge coincidence. He actually dated, like, a long time before they were married. They dated, and now they're married. Like, it's a crazy coincidence.
By the way,
that
before Jacob Hansen met his wife at BYU Hawaii, he took this girl on a date, and she, super beautiful, loved him.
Somehow I
but
feel like this is
unfortunately,
not a
they
serious
couldn't be
story.
together because she was a single mom. But Jacob, right before he said goodbye to this girl, gave this woman's daughter a blessing.
A blessing.
And said, hey, you know what? My love will always be with you. And that little girl grew up to be Lindsay Sterling.
Anyway, so as I was saying,
Okay.
so this is what I'll say. Okay, so just to end on this, look, this is something that will be truly a marvelous work and a wonder. If you want to, and what's awesome is if you want to be a part of it, you can be a part of this, right? And let's take this and let's reach every person on this earth. We can. Right now we're reaching millions and millions and millions, right? We can scale this, and we can fulfill the prophecy to take the gospel to every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. I really believe that. And
Okay.
I say that in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen.
Didn't know we were in testimony meeting today.
Yeah, this is
I feel
serious
really
stuff.
awkward for half of the jokes that I just made. All right. So let's not
Dude,
do that again.
That's so.
But
amazing.
just kidding.
I'm so grateful for you guys for coming on today to talk to us about this. Mamelo, and was it Thomas?
Yes.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much. This is amazing work that you're doing.
Yeah, this is killer, man. This is killer. So the name of the organization is Gathering Israel. But remember, it is gatheringisrael.org. There will be, look, I Utah-fied Israel. I did that whole little the Utah accent does. Instead of saying
gosh.
Israel, Israel or Israel, I said Israel.
On Sunday, we're going to be talking about the gathering of Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
You think people in Utah say that?
In the
What are you?
mountains.
Oh, dude, yeah. Thomas totally has a Utah accent.
old
no,
people
they
in
always say,
Utah talk
well,
like
hi, how are
Israel?
ya? And there's no you.
Israel.
It's yeah.
I have never heard Israel said.
Hey,
Yeah,
how
they
are
say
you?
like, I'm going to take a picture. And it's not a picture. It's I'm going to take, and you
Picture.
ask him to say picture
They don't
and
say
picture.
nails, they say Nels.
Yeah,
No.
no.
That one I've heard.
Edamel.
That one I've
My
heard.
cousins
Mel,
in
Fountain.
Pleasant Grove
Yeah,
all
Fountain.
talk this way.
Fountain Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Thomas?
No, mountain's
True.
real. Mountain's
True.
real.
Hey, it's true. I don't use my T's when I say mountain. I know it's weird.
Yeah, that one's real, but Israel?
We call him Amos.
Is-
No,
Israel?
that's the
I
old
don't know.
Utah
I-
accent. That's the old McConkey era Utah accent.
You know what's weird to me is my grandparents, they'll say like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Oh,
Thursday,
boy. Oh,
Friday.
boy.
I think that's just
Well,
an
maybe
old
not
person
Friday.
thing.
It's
'cause
Friday.
I have
but not
like grandparents in Canada who said that.
It's a mountain. It's a
the
mountainous.
roof. The
Well,
roof,
my,
not
mountain
the
west
my
roof.
grandma
goes
grew up
into
in
Canada.
Toronto.
Well,
Yeah,
my
it's not
grandpa still says, hey,
Yeah,
Dolly,
Toronto.
you're going to come on over here. We're going to go out with the broads, and we're going to go play a little bit of Necca. You know what I'm saying? That's how my
You
grandpa
guys, you guys
talks.
heard the
right, you
Toronto
know?
accent? It is one of the worst accents in the world.
Is it
Oh,
really?
super break outside, fam. It's way too cold out today. That's how they talk. They sound really
The
weird.
perfect midpoint of Canadian and Scottish.
Yeah,
Oh, super desi, bro. She's super desi. They have slang nobody has heard of outside of Toronto.
And they say a toque. A toque.
A toque.
A toque instead of a little hat or a beanie. A toque.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. So, okay, awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. The name of the website is gatheringisrael.org. There will be links to this in the description. Remember, it is gatheringisrael.org, not .com or .net. It is gatheringisrael.org. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you want to support the channel, you can get a War in Heaven veteran hat in stock or put a back order, whatever it's called. I can't remember. A request for a back order, whatever it is. You can order shirts right now. If you're a person of means, please consider a generous donation through Zelle or through Venmo. And as always, for this and more, please make sure that you guys check us out at wardradio.com.
I built a rocket in my basement. I'm gonna fly it to the moon. This supersonic is amazing.